I don't know what happened during May. I don't know if it was the rainy days, it was the summer approaching, but definitely this month has been really productive for my reading. From diving back to absolutely beautiful and amazing classic, to obviously experience again the pain, getting to experience a bunch of different plot twists. This month I live several lives, and even some of them were filled with angst. I also get to have so much fun and laugh a lot. So if you're looking forward to new BL recommendations, you want to know which titles were worth the heart-breaking, which were the most comforting ones, and which are the ones that will make you have an amazing time, you are in the right place. And if you're new here, hello, I'm Maria, your Spanish and chaotic bestie online who is totally obsessed with BL. More or less like you. The one that you can count on to share and talk about your favorite gay couples and get the most of this beautiful world of BL. With that being said, besties, grab your drink, get comfy, and let's get into my May reading wrap up. We obviously have to start by the highlight of this month, the Danmei that I've been waiting since February. My total obsession, my reason of breathing, my case file compendium. File compendium volume 8. What a cliffhanger. Yes, this May won't be the volume in where you're gonna cry your eyes out, because it is definitely not that devastating as volume 7. However, this is the volume that will make you get ready for what is coming in volume 9. This volume was filled with a bunch of plot twists and a lot of information about the Mandela organization. And to be honest, besties, I didn't find it annoying, neither difficult to follow. What I loved the most about this volume was finally reaching the moment in where Chang and 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐞𝐬 are honest with each other. They tried to hide their own feelings. They try to follow this performance in where Chang has been captive by 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬. But behind closed door and actually under the blanket is where we can't truly see our two idiots' real feelings. I don't know about you, but I cannot avoid going back to 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬 and Chang intimate scenes over and over again, because first of all, the illustrations are stunning. They are a gift for the eyes, but then the complicity, the truth behind the silence and the unsaid words. As I said, this volume ends with a criminal cliffhanger, but what a beautiful last pages. Get your tissues ready, besties, because as you probably know, in volume 9 we're going to war and we're going to face most probably the most devastating volume in the entire city. And obviously 5 stars. And from my favorite Danmei title, we're moving to the last volume of my favorite BL manga, a buddy read with Lost Year, which is a lovely friend here from our community. I'm obviously talking about Happy of the End. I talk about this BL series in my previous reading wrap-up because I reread volume 1 and volume 2 during April. And as I said back then, I want to do a video specifically talking about this series because there is a bunch of things to be said. Saying that this BL touch my heart. It is an understatement. Dives deep in depression and how difficult it may feel for someone who is completely broken to find a reason to keep going. However, in this volume, we reach our desired happy ending. And not gonna lie, you can totally see it already in my face. This is my favorite volume from the entire series. And obviously it comes with a roller coaster of emotions, but the end, I can tell you, it never failed to make me cry again. I'm getting emotional, as you can see already, just thinking about it. 10 out of 10, absolutely 5 stars. And I truly hope you will give it a chance to this BL manga. And if you do, please let me know in the comments, because I can talk about this manga for hours. And I know you probably know me from my Danmei video. I know I talk a lot about different Danmei titles here. However, as you can see, I do love to read mangas and manhwas as well. And this month I went back to some great manhwas, starting with my reread of Under the Green Light. I'm just gonna say this pretty quickly. If you haven't read Under the Green Light, I don't know what you're doing, because this is totally a really well-known manhwa in the genre, and it is for a reason. It is absolutely amazing. Discuss the absolutely crazy and visceral obsession and relationship between our art student and sculptor Matthew and the criminal leader Jim, who looks like they share a past and who looks like truly never forgot each other. If I'm doing a reread rather than going to discover a new manhwa, you probably know by now that it is because that title, it is a good one. Obviously, I have to give this reread 5 stars. The plot, and I mean the plot, how much do we love a morally grey character discovering that actually he indeed has as well a weakness, and that weakness is our little, not that little, Matthew. And from this well-known manhwa, we're moving to a different one that I read for the first time, and it was like pretty fun, to be honest. Nothing out of this world. However, it's great if you want to have a good time. Pure intentions. This is a manhwa about 2 love rivals that, surprise, surprise, end up getting pretty close. So we're moving from a simple crush to a really complicated game of attraction. If I have to point out something about this manhwa, it's actually the end. I absolutely love the end of this story and how let us pick a bit about our main character future together. And as I said, even though this manhwa story wasn't mind-blowing, I give it 3 stars. And now we're going back to Danmei, and we're going back to Suffering by meatbun hands. Going back to one of my favorite main characters, Mochi, and woman dynamic. This month I started my reread of Remnants of Filth because, as you probably know if you follow me, I'm still missing the last 2 volumes, and I refuse not to be able to remember every single thing about this amazing and sadly underrated Danmei. So I started with volume 1 again. And besties, as we discussed before, rereading Remnants of Filth truly hits hard. I was emotional from the very prologue of this book, and I think it made me way more emotional rereading this because obviously you know what is gonna happen. So you start suffering with Mochi and Guma from the beginning again, knowing the hidden truth, knowing everything that they went through, and knowing how much this actually means for each other. This is one of those titles that I only read when I'm making sure that I have the time for it. Every time that I read any meatbun novels, I get totally immersed. But as I said several times in different videos, for me, Remnants of Filth truly is an emotional story. You know, if you follow me, you know by now that this is my second favorite by meatbun. So you probably will see me suffering again soon next month. And to my reread of Remnants of Filth, I gave it 4.5 stars. And always biased. You understand, right? Obviously, after being brave enough to start rereading Remnants of Filth, after crying already with the first volume, I needed something to heal my heart. And I went to read one title that was recommended by a friend. If you watch my shorts, you probably have heard me talk about it after being forced to marry the evil star general. What an amazing story it is. I know. You've been following me here and you have heard me talking not only about this Danmei, but also about the Titan's beloved Empress, which is pretty similar to this one. And obviously, if you knew that I gave the Titan's beloved Empress 5 stars, I absolutely did the same with this one. Here we have Black Cat Golden Retriever trope. Here we have a main character that feels like our Call Beauty from Ballad of Sword and Wine. Our main character is someone who is hated by everyone, who is perceived to be a villain, but who is actually in reality someone who is trying to survive. Is being forced to marry a really famous general who has been known for being an evil star. And even though we're starting with this forced marriage, which clearly doesn't sound like a good decision, it will be ended up being one of the most successful marriage in their world. It's so good. It's so good. I don't want to repeat myself, considering that I already have a short talking specifically about this Danmei. So if you want to know more about it, please go to my Danmei playlist and you will definitely find it. But I'm just gonna say, story amazing, entertaining, with a bunch of different plot twists, 2 characters that are truly down bad for each other, and they are so adorable, as well as they are savage. You don't want to face these two as your enemy. You're gonna find as well a bunch of politic scheming, some extras that truly make you enjoy even more this Danmei. And obviously, as I enjoy this much this Danmei recommendation, I continue with another one recommended by the same friend, which was truly a really fun Danmei to read. This Venerable one really didn't abandon my familiar. Here we have another historical Danmei with master discipline or master familiar trope, immortal demon, and a bunch of yearning. But don't be fooled, besties. Yes, there is a bunch of yearning. We have our main lead who has been waiting for his beloved one, for his absolutely number one man in the world, for his reason of living, for thousands years. Get ready to laugh a bunch. and have an amazing time. Let me tell you something. This is another Danmei with the most cute and heartwarming extras. And obviously, after hearing me saying all of this, you can probably guess which was the rate I gave it 4.5 stars. We're moving to another yearning and fun couple, Guardian, Volume 1. This is a title that has been under my radar since forever. So finally, and thanks to your push, I decided to give it a go, and truly thank you for that, because this was a really great read. We're introduced here to this kind of urban fantasy mystery world. This is, as I said in one of my latest shorts, a mix between a buddy cop show and this kind of fantasy, traditional, ancient Chinese folklore. It's pretty entertaining. And what I love the most about this is obviously our main character's dynamic. But not only that, also the side characters, because the side characters will add a bunch to this story. I already said this in my shorts. I absolutely love our main character. I think I love a bratty guy, okay? I love this overconfident person. He is cheeky. He is really over the top, let's say. He's shameless. So we mix this kind of bratty guy with the cold and mysterious Professor Cheng, and what we got is definitely a really great couple dynamic. A really intrigue, but intense fate bond between these two. If you love mystery and detective stories, this is for you, because as I said in my short related to Guardian, the mystery starts from the very beginning with a really random and bizarre death of a university student. That case will be handled by our main character, who is in charge of a secret government organization that actually deals with paranormal crimes. If you know Pris, you know that the stories from this author will always be slow burn, and yes, maybe won't have that many specific steamy scenes, but the tension, it is there. And even though I won't get really detailed and specific intimate scenes as we can totally get in meatbun novels, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna enjoy them anyway, because the way that Pris writes stories, it is truly chef kiss. As I said before, I got really diverse feedback about this Danmei. The only thing in common was that actually indeed Volume 1 was amazing, and I can totally agree with that. From Volume 2 is where you're gonna find these completely opposite opinions about this Danmei. However, I'm really looking forward to continue this journey and discover actually what happened between our main character, who definitely share a buzz. I gave this 4 stars. We're moving to my last reads of May. I totally binge read after The Disabled God of War became my Concubine, Volume 1 and Volume 2 on Kindle, because I definitely couldn't wait to get the physical copy to continue. This was amazing. I totally understand now why I only hear good things about this Danmei. To be honest, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first title I read from this author. This is a transmigration story, so we're starting from a great place, because I don't know about you, but I absolutely enjoy transmigration stories. And we're starting with this fascinating premise of a university professor who realizes his life is mirroring the horrible thesis he was reviewing about a captured general and the prince who enjoyed him. And as you can see in my face, this is so much fun. Seriously, to be honest, compared to other titles, it may won't be mind-blown in the sense of make you shocked to death, okay? But it's truly a really great one if you want to read something that will make you have an amazing time. I started volume 1 and I got that immersed into the story that suddenly I realized that it was already the next day in the morning. So this is the power of this Danmei. Obviously, trying to avoid spoilers for the one who are reading this story, I just truly cannot wait for these two idiots, because they are two idiots who are truly unaware of their own feelings till the very end. I cannot wait for them to confess and actually see how they're gonna face all the danger that is waiting for them. And it's pretty fun as well, because we get our main character transmigrating into this called an absolutely asshole prince, and seeing him trying to play this persona is truly hilarious, because he thinks that he's doing the best performance ever. But obviously, or general, this god of war, he's really perceptive, and he truly didn't eat our main character fake personality. I gave 4 stars and 4.5 to volume 2, and as I said, I truly cannot wait to continue this story, because it got me hooked up since the very beginning. This is perfect to have it as a side read, or the next read after you read some devastating and heartbreaking BL. And this was my May reading wrap up. If you have stayed with me up until now, thank you so much, bestie, for watching. I truly hope this video was helpful for you to find new titles to read. And even though this was my reading wrap up, I would truly love to hear about you. Which were the titles that you enjoyed the most during May? I'm pretty sure a lot of you are gonna say case file, because yes, we breathe case file in this channel, that's for sure, and that is my pride and joy that I got you guys. But I would love to get some recommendations for you, because even though I talk about these titles, I continue reading others that I haven't talked about them just for the fact that I haven't finished them yet. So I'm looking forward to add more titles to my TBR, continue discovering new amazing stories made an impact on you. So please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I will continue chatting with you as always in the comment. And as usual, guys, hope you have an amazing day. Happy reading, and see you in the next video. Ciao.